A driving review of the new Porsche Taycan facelift with Thoma스는 Autogefühl in 4K, full screen, full length. Let's go. What can we expect from it? And also, I'll tell you why this one, as it stands here right now, is the best Taycan to buy. Let's check it out. Here in the front, we can see lamps now, LED standard, optional HD matrix LED. You could also see them right here. And gentian blue is the color for today. Yes, and I had, invested a lot of time to be also wearing gentian blue all over the place. Then here, 20-inch wheels with this closed aerodynamic designs. There are new wheel choices available, and the overall length is 4.96 meters or 195 inches. Biggest news on the technology side as for the suspension. You have this new Porsche Active Ride that can lean into the corners, go up and down and so on. I'll soon also have a sample for that. Here, this one, however, is the rear-wheel drive model, the only one where you cannot spec it. It would be theoretically possible, it's just like Porsche policy. But it's interesting because the base rear-wheel drive model, which we have here, is the most bought Taycan, and that has also a reason, not only pricing. Here, by the way, recharging. There is a charging flap on both sides, and it's also now electric. This is the additional AC, in this case here for this version on the driver's side. On the other side, you also have the DC port, then 320 kilowatt peak, and 18 minutes from 10 to 80% state of charge. That is super impressive. Now the bigger battery is 97 kilowatt hours net, so that's a massive new boost. And there's a small battery which is now as big as the old big battery, almost now at 82 kilowatt hours. So massive boost in battery size and also then range. With the big battery, this can go almost 500 kilometers or 300 miles now. So we can score some 20 kilowatt hours in 100 kilometers, so some 3 miles per kilowatt hour. When you're going motorway, good temperature, cruise control, 100 kilometers an hour, 60 miles an hour. And then, of course, the values vary a little bit. Here, you can see, light strip goes all the way through. This one in here, the base version, has this blue Porsche lettering here. That's actually very interesting. You can now also get an illuminated logo, if you like. And we can directly check out the trunk, because this one here has an electric hatch. Very clean design overall in the rear. Width just 90 centimeters or 35 inches, so not too wide. And the length here is actually a little bit better. It's like 1 meter or 40 inches. Turning indicators in the rear. Yeah, nice and visible, really wide. That looks cool, definitely. Acceleration figure, by the way. Here, the base model, the rear-wheel drive model, profits most from this update. Now at 4.8 seconds. That's 0.6 seconds quicker than before. Turbo S is now also quicker at 2.4 seconds, and there's a new Turbo GT. Here, the turning indicators in the front, or the hazard lights. That looks really cool, right? This 4-dot structure. And then here with the key fob, I can open the frunk. And Porsche has a tradition of frunks, of course, because of the rear engine concepts and so on. Here we do have one as well then in the EV. So Leah has already picked her color for today. Yeah, here with the Turbo GT. Doesn't need to be a Turbo GT, but this color definitely, right? Let's get inside, and here when I close the vehicle, you can see here, flush door handles. When I open it, they come towards you like this, and door closing sound. It's really good for a vehicle that is frameless in the doors. That's actually cool. And this one also has the optional insulation package. You can see here this dual layer of glass, really cool for the motorway and so on. Then here inside of the doors, this is the leather-free interior, also soft touch, so it's a good build quality. Also felt at the inside of the doors, as we should expect it actually. Then the race text steering wheel, microfiber, for me the favorite, the best, and also the best seats you can get for the Taycan, called Pepita or Houndstooth, with 189, 6'2". Still a lot of headroom left. This is the one without the panoramic roof. You can also get a fixed panoramic roof then with this electrochrome shade. That is also possible. Cockpit overview. You have screens. You also have a passenger screen actually. So from my side I cannot see it that well. Can you see it, Leah?
No.
No, she can, because from the sides you cannot see it. You can only see it when you come around. Then now maybe a little bit. It's really tough because if not visible from the sides, you have to be on this seat, then you can actually see that. If it's really necessary, I don't know. Then you also have soft touch here all the way in the dashboard, sport chrono package here with analog clock. Temperature is controlled right here with this clicking feedback, but the e-tron GT counterpart to me is a little bit easier because it still has a manual climate unit. Here you can also open, by the way, here the front or the trunk and so on. You can control it also from the screen. Adaptive cup holders. The only thing that's strange is like this middle console, like how it opens here. It's like always in your way, and then it's super tiny here, and then you have to put your smartphone like this for the inductive charging. I don't know. So I think it's not really good smartphone design. Then we have the brown shaver design here with the switch gear like this, P. Yeah, and I really love that steering wheel, especially that you can change the driving modes directly at the steering wheel. Interesting, by the way, that you can always deactivate this electric sport sound if you don't fancy that. And here also is interesting as for the chassis, normal Sport Plus. And the air suspension is standard for the Taycan facelift here now. So even if you don't have the Porsche Active Ride, you still have the air suspension and you are flexible. Sitting in the rear, it's actually quite cozy here with the fabric seats as well. You have this kind of single seat setup. Headroom-wise also works, but yeah, to the side here it gets close, so you have to be a little bit forward and to the middle, then it's okay. Also leg room when I'm sitting as a tall driver. In the middle part there's just this cubby hole, and you have this middle console with a separate climate unit here. So with fabric seats, again, it's more comfortable. Considering the length of the vehicle, it's of course not like this, that it would be best for tall people in the rear. This is, however, also adaptive, so it's actually a very good build quality around the vehicle. And even if you look at the inside of the rear doors, there's also a felt covering. 구독, 좋아요, 알림 설정 부탁해요. Alright, let's go to Sport Plus and hit the launch control with the new Taycan facelift. So official is now 4.8 seconds, 0.6 seconds quicker than before. So the base version here, this is the rear-wheel drive base version of the Taycan, actually profits most from this acceleration surplus.
Really, that's the best part.
Yeah, the Leah meter goes off, she loves it. Yeah, and that, wow, that already gets you adrenaline pumping, definitely, and it drives so extremely well. In Sport Plus, the air suspension is set on a stiffer note. This one here with the base suspension, so not the Porsche Active Ride, and it drives phenomenal. So do I miss the Porsche Active Ride? Not at all. It just drives amazing. And think about, this is the most sold Taycan model worldwide, and wow, it accelerates so well out of the corners. And I love the rear-wheel drive concept. Of course, you have more performance and more acceleration with an electric motor in the front. But hey, you get a rear-wheel driven Taycan, you get a rear-wheel driven sports car, and this is a sports car. And if you compare it also to the Panamera, this one just has, it hooks up to the ground so well. You sit lower, definitely is more fun to drive than the Panamera, although the Panamera is already a great drive. This is so much fun. I mean, it's here, like left and right. It hooks up so well, you feel you're gluing to the ground. Yes, there is high weight due to the battery pack here with an electric vehicle. In this case, however, it kind of adds to this connected feeling a little bit, and you don't feel the weight, at least maybe when you're like pushing in very, very tight corners. But the driving behavior, the sporty one, is just exceptional here. And once again, this is the base Taycan, and this is more than anything already. Already when we are at speed, here 75. Let's see. Let's go. 120. Ooh, nice. And I'm not sure if you saw that on the camera, but I could feel the shift, of the two. There are two gears, so car was also shifting, and it's really uncommon to feel it with an electric vehicle, but it also somehow adds to this special feeling of the Taycan, definitely. The lane change is so good, actually, and remember, this one here does not have this new Porsche Active Ride. It has the standard air suspension, and I mean, it doesn't shake up at all either. So if you ask me, Do you need the Porsche Active Ride? Not at all. Absolutely not. I mean, it's a fantastic technology. It's really impressive. But then again, I mean, if you want to buy and hold the vehicle, maybe also a good idea to keep it a little bit more simplified. 20-inch wheels mounted here. If you would like to have even more comfort, you would go for a little smaller wheels also. It's also possible. Back to the normal mode, then the air suspension is also a little bit softer. And here at 120 kilometers an hour, like 70, 75 miles an hour, it's really very silent in here. So we don't have to raise our voices when talking to each other and so on. You can set the cruise control, also profit from these modern assistance systems. This vehicle is equipped with the optional insulation package. That's very important, definitely, if you want that extra of noise insulation on the motorway at higher speeds. So this definitely helps. And then, I mean, when you're driving like this, there's not much difference to the higher versions here. I like to have the rear-wheel drive only as well, so this is also something, and this will be the most bought Taycan version. And considering what other Porsche prices we have, this one here at 130,000 euros, all equipped with all the extras, is in comparison cheap. we have to say that in that respect. Here, let's do in the normal mode a quicker lane change and see how that reacts. Let's see about that. Wow, it's just flawless. This driving experience is so flawless and smooth. And once again, the fabric seats also add to the comfort, so they're way softer than the animal skin surface. So the car we're driving right here would be the most comfortable setup for everyday driving. And most Taycans will, of course, not be used on the racetrack, but for everyday driving. And for that, it's actually the most clever choice.